better way to kick off our show than with a song? Riho, this one's for you. Na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye.
It's about damn time.
Isn't it though? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nick Cavalli.
My name is Marcus White.
And we welcome you as always to the Wrevolution. So tonight is the Wednesday Night Wars on February the 12th of 2020. And we are going to be looking at NXT, AEW, how they stacked up against each other, the good, the bad, there wasn't a whole lot of bad or ugly, so.
No, it was just a little, there was some...
The good and the meh?
The meh, it was a little meh.
So I'm going to actually kick off our show tonight by updating everybody on the most valuable player, or the MVP voting we have. And our MVP votes right now, luckily Tyson Fury not in the lead, as he led in 2019.
Yikes.
We do have a definitive number one. It is the limitless Keith Lee.
Oh, bask in his glory.
And then we have a 10-way tie for second.
Yikes.
It's going to be all of these getting 2 votes. Keith Lee had 3. R-Truth, Ivar, Chris Jericho, Bray Wyatt, Walter, Tommaso Ciampa, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Braun Strowman, Rhea Ripley, and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Well, we're ready to just roll into things, to be honest with you. This was a really good night of wrestling again.
And we have a lot to cover here. Both of these shows were pretty jam-packed from start to finish, both of them. So we're going to kick things off as usual with NXT on USA Network. And they started off right away with Roderick Strong marching out to the ring, and he wasn't happy.
No, well, I don't think I would be either if somebody had my wife and child on their tights. And for the record, I do not have a wife nor a child, so ladies, you know.
Yeah, so as he comes out to the ring, Velveteen his name is being chanted loudly by the NXT universe. He grabs a microphone and he calls out Dream for putting his family on his pants. He said it's the most disrespectful thing that's ever happened to him, and he wants an apology. Well, he didn't get an apology. Instead, he got Bronson Reed.
Which, by the way, that's the guy's name that we couldn't think of last week.
Yeah, the guy that got attacked.
He's not Samoan, he's Australian.
Yeah, but he's still a big boy. And he apparently has a problem with Roddy for the attack last week. They get in, they start fighting, and it's a match, apparently.
Thick boy season is in full effect.
Yeah, so at first I looked at Nick and we were both like, oh, it's going to be one of those episodes in NXT, right? You know, developmental, kind of building up the young talent.
And we had a couple matches that way, but they weren't bad.
Yeah, and this one wasn't bad at all. Bronson Reed impressed me tonight.
Yeah, Bronson Reed definitely looked very good in this match. In fact, a couple of different times it looked like he had this match won.
Yeah.
Going for the frog splash a couple of different times, wasn't able to hit it, so...
Yeah, Bronson, you gotta get a new finisher, bud.
Oh, man, no, I love big guys who do the frog splash.
Yeah, but it does need to be your finisher. Like, that, yikes. Roderick Strong being able to power up the big man for a couple of Olympic slams, that was pretty hype.
Some big moves, and then, of course, the match would end with the Dream's music. His ow!
Yeah, is that the new Undertaker gong now?
Yeah, that's his version of the gong.
So that causes a distraction momentarily, and then while that happens, Bronson hits a tope suicida. Yikes!
Mamma mia!
Yeah, that was a big one. He then throws Roderick Strong into the ring, goes to the top rope for the frog splash, and as he dives, he gets caught with a knee strike right in the face.
Right in the jaw.
1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong picks up the victory. And then Velveteen Dream appears on the screen. Keep in mind the whole time this is happening, the lights are dim. You got that like purple
lighting.
Yeah, and got the smoke and everything. So Velveteen appears and he says, basically just starts talking about how he wants revenge and Roderick Strong. And then he says,
Hey, Roderick, do you remember the first time you met your beautiful wife? I do. And, you know, you did lose the NXT North American title, but you still have a family.
He says, if anything ever happened to you, Roderick, someone would fill all of Marina's dreams. Woo!
Yikers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strong. Obviously upset about that, to say the least.
And then we get it announced that this match is going to happen on TV next week, not at TakeOver.
Yeah, well, TakeOver has a pretty stacked card going for it. So.
It's got like 3 matches that I care about. It is the tag team title, the world title, Tegan Nox, and the women's match. What other match? Oh, Gargano Balor.
Gargano Balor.
And
how dare you forget
that's 5
Gargano?
matches.
And they're all going to be like an hour and a half long.
I really hope not.
It's TakeOver. You know they're going to be like all classics.
Yeah, but we could have one more. That's the only one I was upset about. The other one that we talk about later in the night, yeah, it can happen on TV.
Yeah, I'm okay with having
Oh,
TV
God,
matches.
how did I forget? Keith Lee and Dijakovic.
Yeah.
Well, you forgot, too. You didn't.
I mean, I'm not the one over here saying that I'm not concerned about the card.
There's just... I mean, look, it's a pay-per-view. WWE, it's on your network. It's not like you're wasting anybody's time if you go over by
they are
an hour and a half.
I mean, they do have a time limit, though, to when they have to be out the building, though, I'm assuming. And they can only have that much noise after a certain period of time. Noise laws are a thing.
Yeah, noise laws are a thing, but I mean, it's indoors, and you're starting it at 7 o'clock Eastern time, so 11 o'clock Pacific time would be the time they need to be out.
Yeah. I'm just saying they probably want to get out as fast as possible.
Yeah, just sounds like they didn't think it through to me. I mean, it wouldn't...
as much as you didn't think through the card that you were trying to critique?
Yeah.
Yeah, so next we get this segment, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, and they're going on a road trip. Yeah, I didn't make that up. That's literally what they said.
So they weren't going to be able to take the trophy on the plane with them to Portland because I don't know.
Reasons, I guess.
So they're trying to find a way to get them and their best friend, the Dusty Classic trophy, to Portland. So they first start out on this road trip, and we learn that more is still to come.
Yeah, so as they're on this road trip, Pete Dunne ends up swerving into the opposite lane. Matt Riddle makes a comment.
You need to be on the right side of the road, bro. This isn't London.
I'm not even from London,
It doesn't matter, bro.
They didn't. He then talks about how he thinks it's going to be smooth sailing from there. They immediately get pulled over by the cops.
Yeah, and then...
their car gets towed.
Of course, Matt Riddle does the... Make sure I got nothing on me. Then he goes, all right, Pete, I'm going to do all the talking.
Yeah, their car gets towed because apparently neither one of them have their license.
What are you doing?
Come on, guys. So he then goes, don't worry, I got a plan. To be continued. So we find out later in the night what will happen. We then go backstage to an Angel Garza interview. He just kind of continues the same thing he's been saying for the last couple weeks, that he never lost the Cruiserweight Championship, and that he's going to beat Leo Rush tonight. Speaking of Leo Rush, out comes the man of the hour because he says that he's hungrier, faster, and he's going to get his title back. Onward, next we get Candice LeRae versus Dakota Kai.
I don't want to say it's a down point of the night because that implies that it's bad. But in comparison to everything else we had tonight in both shows.
I'm going to be real. Dakota Kai, her last few matches have not been very good.
No, not particularly.
No.
And she's been in the ring with two very
good talent.
Yeah, so... this does what it needs to do. Builds towards the, match at
We find out that she has a new theme song.
Which is badass.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
And then Candice LeRae kind of snaps after the match. So, we'll just, is there any particular spot you want to go over?
No,
we'll
Dakota wins with the roll-up.
Candice LeRae then snaps after the match, goes after Dakota Kai, and Dakota Kai fights back, gets LeRae on the ground, only to be attacked by Tegan Nox.
Well, you missed that Dakota was smacking Candice with the ring bell. But yeah, she gets attacked by Tegan.
I wasn't paying attention until Tegan showed up.
Yeah.
I love you, Tegan.
Yeah, so that segment did what it needed to do to progress the feud, but still not super interesting. It's just, I don't know. Didn't do it for me.
Nope. You got one more chance to make me really care about this as much as I should.
Yeah, seriously though. And then apparently Johnny Gargano and Cameron Grimes had an argument last week.
At a house show.
Yeah, so this is a match now. Johnny Gargano versus Cameron Grimes.
And Cameron Grimes is over.
Yeah, and before the match starts, Cameron, as he's doing his entrance, gets in the ring, goes for an attack on Johnny Gargano, and the referee stops him, catches him. So, I know I'm sounding very like, what the heck, what's going on here with this match, but this is actually a really good match.
Yeah, it exceeded my expectations.
And it took me like, getting into the match a couple minutes before I went, Cameron Grimes is actually, doing his thing. I'm actually enjoying this.
Grimy.
Yeah, that chant is
Let's
cringe.
get grimy.
I don't like that chant at all.
Yeah. He's better than I've given him credit for in the past. The match exceeded expectations.
I knew he was decent in the ring. What is your character, Cameron Grimes? You have a hat.
Country.
You have a hat.
I'm country.
Is he? He doesn't have an accent.
But he's country.
He's country. He has a hat. That's his gimmick. But hey, he's good in the ring. So, Cameron Grimes, I hope to see more of you. But that doesn't matter for tonight because Gargano escaped for the win.
Absolutely. Gargano gets the win that he needs heading into Portland, and we can just move on.
Yep, so we get an Adam Cole interview.
Baby.
He says that he's going to teach Kushida and Tommaso Ciampa a lesson. He says that he's tired of Ciampa whining and that this title is his life, not Ciampa's, and he's going to do anything to keep it. We then return to the adventures of Riddle and Pete Dunne as they're on a paddle boat.
A swan boat. A swan boat.
Swan paddle boat. And Pete Dunne goes, so we're going to take this boat all the way to Portland. Oh, of course not.
No. This is my river of tranquility. Oh, okay, Matt Hardy. This is my river of tranquility. This is where I come to think, bro. Light bulb.
Yeah, this segment was great. And then we get another to be continued as we find out later on the conclusion how Riddle and Pete Dunne are going to get to NXT TakeOver Portland. Talk about time fillers.
These two in my life, though. I really did.
So next we get a Robert Stone promo. That's all I'm going to talk about because
I don't care.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all that happened is Robert Stone. Cool. So we then get Lio Rush versus Angel Garza, and this match decides who the number one contender for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship will be.
I'm going to say something that I don't say very often. I was...
Come on. I need to hear these words.
I was... wrong.
He was wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, he was dead wrong. Very wrong. Incredibly wrong.
I did not pay any attention to this match.
Any attention at all.
It didn't matter. Angel Garza was going to win.
Uh-huh. And tell the crowd, tell our lovely fans, Mr. Cavalli, who won this match?
Lio Rush,
right. So, who's going to have to break this match down? Because you didn't pay attention.
It was good and flippy.
So, we knew out the gate when this match started that it was going to be fast and high octane.
And that Angel Garza was going to win.
Well, you knew that.
Everyone and their mother knew that.
No, I didn't. And the reason, here's the thing. I said that Lio Rush was going to win this match. Why? Because Jordan Devlin is a heel. Angel Garza is a heel. They were not going to do heel versus heel for the Cruiserweight Championship.
But
they're just not.
It's the I didn't lose thing that got me going. Jordan Devlin never pinned me.
See, but you're not thinking WWE booking.
No, I'm thinking normal human being, but I'm thinking what a member of the IWC, someone who would book an indie show would think.
And that's the thing. This is not an indie show. This is WWE NXT.
It's the closest thing I have.
WWE NXT, and not only that, but the way Angel Garza's been popping up on Raw more and more, it would only seem fair that that's their way to just kind of go, okay, that's how we get him on NXT.
That's the one thing that kind of, as the match went on, I went, maybe they will put Leo over, because, Garza's on Raw now.
Yeah.
We don't know what the reaction's going to be for Andrade when he comes back.
And I'd be perfectly fine with them taking the title off Andrade and putting it on Angel.
I'd be perfectly fine with Andrade just kind of slipping into irrelevance for a little while and taking a break.
Yeah,
and regaining his last name.
I mean, I like you, Andrade. I do. But, I think you maybe need some time off for a little bit.
Yeah, a little 3-month stint never hurt nobody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As long as you don't come back to complete irrelevancy, then we'll be fine. So
he'll come back as one of the characters for the Firefly Funhouse.
Yikes. I don't want to see that.
That'd be better than what he's doing now.
You mean starring in Latino Hour every week? So, this match was high octane. It was fast. Leo Rush, again, if you've never seen him, he's just like a little mosquito, like buzzing around the ring. Like he's like doing hidden juke moves. Like it's so high octane, so fast.
You know what match I want to see now that you just said that?
What?
Leo Rush versus Marco Stunt.
Oh goodness.
All of the tiny people, all of the speed.
Yeah, and Leo Rush isn't even like he's not a tiny person. He's just like
fun sized.
Yeah, he's just a little bit shorter than the regular guy.
Yeah, he's like an 8th grader.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 5'7" in 8th grade, so that's about his height.
Really? I was like 6 foot.
Well, look, dude. Oh no, I was 5'9". I was 5'9".
Okay.
I only grew 2 inches from 8th grade until 9th grade.
It's okay, buddy.
I was 5'9" in 7th grade.
Oh, well,
that was kind of terrifying.
And look at you now. All the Mountain Dew.
Thanks, caffeine.
Yeah, so this match was fantastic. It was really good, you knew it was going to be. But it was Leo Rush winning in the end with a roll-up. So that's another roll-up victory that we saw tonight. I wasn't a fan of how the finish was.
No.
But, I mean, Leo got the victory. It caught you off guard, made me happy, and, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I mean, a match, let's be honest, in WWE, it's not super often that the outcome of a match surprises you. Their booking has become rather predictable at times. So to see this, and
I feel like that's wrestling in general. At least for me, I feel like a lot of days, not a lot of things catch me off guard.
Yeah.
If you watch enough wrestling, you can pretty much tell what's going to happen before it happens.
But this was genuinely nice to see, something that caught me off guard.
Yeah. So after the match, Jordan Devlin, the Cruiserweight Champion, comes out, says, Leo, hell of a match. You've earned the right to be the next stop on the Jordan Devlin Cruiserweight Championship Tour.
Yes, and of course I will remind you never to bet against an ace.
Yeah, I'll show you why you never bet against an ace. So
that line doesn't get old.
just
that was cool
bit.
The first couple times. And,
yeah. I'm gonna be real. I was happy for Jordan Devlin, getting the victory and
Me
everything,
too.
but I'm ready for him to not be the champion again.
See, this is my thing. He's really, really good in the ring.
Yeah.
Still needs work in the mic.
Yeah. And I think also the thing is, too, with his, obligations to NXT UK, he's not able to be on NXT as often as we'd like, so...
Well, now the one difference is because NXT UK does their show as tapings, he is able to be here on most Wednesdays, probably.
Yeah, but
we'll find out.
This is the first Wednesday we've, seen him in a minute.
No, wasn't he? He was on a match last week.
Last week?
Wasn't he?
No.
I thought he was.
No. 2 weeks ago, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
That's what it was.
So,
My bad.
Yeah, it's, I like you, Jordan Devlin. You're cool, but I like Leo Rush just a little bit more. He's got that personality. He's the face that I think the Cruiserweight division, needs. You need someone like that with high personality, amazing moveset, something you can go, look at that guy and all the flips and stuff. Like,
yes.
that's cool.
Yes.
And Devlin, you got some of the flips, but you're more of a technical guy.
Well, again, that's like, for how much I love him, no one is going to ooh and ah over like Zack Sabre Jr. winning an IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. They're just not. No. ZSJ is not Mr. Flippy.
No, we'd rather see someone
Will
like Will
Ospreay,
yes,
who is the IWGP.
And I have much respect for the technical aspects of professional wrestling. Sometimes more than you do. There are times where I appreciate a good slow-paced classic match, and you're like, "Where's the flippy stuff?" And then there are times where we kind of flip. So it goes back and forth either way. But if you're trying to attract that wider range of casual crowd, you definitely need to go for someone like a Leo Rush, someone who can talk great on the mic, looks great, and can perform in the ring when it counts.
Absolutely.
So, we go on next to a Mark Henry promo package talking about the Dijakovic and Keith Lee match.
About how these two are superhuman athletes. They're giants in the ring.
He was comparing them to people like Big Show, Undertaker, Goldberg, like, your standard big men.
All the giants that came before, the difference is they wrestle like they're 205 pounds.
Yeah. This was great. Like, seeing a Hall of Famer like Mark Henry giving a rub to the young guys. I thought that was great. And the first thing that came to my mind is, can you imagine if Mark Henry had the athleticism of a Keith Lee? I want to see Mark Henry hit a shooting star press.
Speaking of big people who can do standing shooting star presses, we'll get
to that
tonight.
A little later on. Hold it. Whoa.
I'm sorry.
As the Usos always say.
I'm so sorry. I'm so excited for next week now.
Yeah, so next we get Bianca Belair versus Santana Garrett.
Who? Garnett.
Who?
Wasn't it? Garrett?
No,
I have no idea.
It was Garrett. Santana Garrett.
Yeah. Where was Ortiz Garrett?
Yeah. So
this is
one of those. This could have been worse than it was.
Yeah.
Because they redeemed it. They redeemed it with what happens after. So Belair wins fast, like freaky fast. This is your typical squash match. Finisher 1, 2, 3.
Except this isn't local jobber. Like, this is someone from the Performance Center.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
When you do it on the main roster and you squash someone, it's just some dude who was wrestling at the bingo hall across the street, and you went, "Hey, do any of you guys want to be on Raw tonight?"
Well, it makes sense to me because, yeah, she's in the Performance Center, but she's a rookie. She's new. So it's, you have an experienced competitor versus a rookie.
I get it. It's just, I hate to see that happen to of course, to be honest, one of those jobbers one day was AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy was a jobber once. So.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Santana probably isn't going to be, relevant for at least another couple years. So, no one's going to be talking about the night she got squashed by a potential future women's champion.
Nah, man, she's going to have that full Alexa Bliss, go from jobber to absolute star in like a month and a half.
Maybe. I could be wrong, and if we do, come back to this clip. So.
I'm going to have one of them Stephen A. side-by-sides of you arguing with yourself. I feel like there could be a million of those, just the two of us at this point, us arguing with ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. I contradict myself all the time.
Every single episode I do. There was something I was going to say, I think it was in AEW, where it was something completely contradictory to something I've said like a week ago.
So yeah, this segment was about to be really bad. I was about to be like, oh, they're doing a squash match. So come on, NXT. And then Rhea Ripley comes out, instantly redeems the segment. She comes out to the ring because Bianca Belair calls her out. She says, "Here goes Rhea again." She's been going all the Monday Night Raw week in and week out, spending more time there than NXT. It's like she just forgot about me. And then out comes Rhea. She picks up a microphone.
I'm not looking past you. I'm looking right at you. But at NXT TakeOver Portland, I'm going to go right through you.
Bianca didn't like that, and they started fighting.
Oh, this was my contradiction. I'm starting to warm up to Bianca Belair.
Yay!
I'm going to say that with one caveat. The next time I see this woman whip someone with her hair, I'm burning all evidence of me ever saying it.
Come on,
and burning down the performance center.
It's the
not for real though. So if something actually happens at the performance center, I'm so sorry, that wasn't me.
It's the goofy part of her gimmick. I get it, but like
you don't have to have a goofy part of your gimmick if you're that big, strong, and well spoken on the mic.
Well, hence why she's been kind of toning it. It's more of like it's like when your baby faces do their like goofy catchphrase or their like pose or whatever. Like they always. Every, baby face has something they do.
Okay, so what you're saying is this is her box of Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah. It's like when Cena does the, like all that. Like, she's like...
That's cool.
Is it, though?
This is literally a rope for hair extension that is spray-painted black that she is beating people over the back
she's whipping people with.
That's a weapon.
Yes, and it's awesome.
Where's the DQ? I want a DQ.
Hey, we don't know if it's
that ain't her real hair.
We don't know.
Ain't her real hair.
We don't know.
You know what? I'm waiting on somebody to pull that hair out, beat her with it, and then what's going to happen is they're going to get DQ'd because it's a weapon.
Yeah, and I know we've gone back and forth on if that hair is real or not. I don't know.
Marcus, that hair ain't real.
Hey, you don't know.
Marcus, that hair is not real.
Well, you never know.
There's no way in hell. She's like, she full on took like a bedazzler to her hair and put EST. That's not real hair.
Right.
What, does she bedazzle her hair every morning?
There are people that do face paint every time they wrestle, so.
Yeah, face paint doesn't take as much time.
No.
Look, it's not real. It's not.
Well, there you go.
Look, wrestling's fake or whatever, but, kind of, sort of.
You're fake.
Wrestling is Bianca's hair is as real as wrestling is. Take that as you will.
All right. So Bianca Belair though does get the best of Rhea, which kind of surprised me. I thought she was going to come out and get the stereotypical "I'm the champ" kind of push, but
the champ is here.
Speaking of which, guess who's popping up on SmackDown in a couple weeks?
Oh, thank you WWE. You have answered our calls. I swear to God. WWE and AEW executives sit down, they watch this podcast every single time we upload because all of our ideas are coming to fruition. Every single one of them. I think they have me tapped because AEW is debuting talent tonight that I said 3.5 weeks ago, maybe longer ago, that they need to get.
And let's be honest, SmackDown definitely needs that Cena life boost. Really.
SmackDown needs Undertaker, Cena, Goldberg, and Stone Cold to bring it back to life.
It's bad. And I just fingers crossed that SmackDown this week. And I've already seen some announcements for some matches, and the hope is very minimal. Let's just say that.
Well, this is my thing for SmackDown at least. Talking about ratings, I'm hoping that is the show where we start to get the build for the Sting-Undertaker rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
Because it needs the ratings.
It needs something. So, we finally get the conclusion of the 3-part series that everyone's been talking about. And that is Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. How are they going to get to take over Portland?
Well, they show up to an airport, and there's a private jet waiting. And Pete Dunne goes, "Is that for us?" "Yeah, bro." "Well, how in the hell did you make that happen?" He's like, "I know a guy."
So he's like, "Yeah, come on, help me get the trophy in the back, bro." Except he does like a really bad in the boot, like a really bad British accent. Pete Dunne just goes, "Don't ever do that again."
Right, and then he goes, "Hey, bro, get in the back of the boot and help me lift this trophy. And you pull, I push." So
Pete Dunne gets inside. They're pushing the trophy in, and then Matt Riddle just shoves him in and slams the door in with both of them inside. He's like, Pete Dunne just goes, "Whose plane is this?"
It's time to play the game.
Triple H walks out and gets in the plane. They
Are
stowed
so
away
on
Triple H's plane.
jet. It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's perfect. I need this.
That's great. So next, we get a Ciampa promo, and this was great. This is why I love Tommaso Ciampa, because he's not just in-ring ability. His microphone skills are phenomenal, and his acting, everything was solid here. So if you recall from last year when he got injured, he was the NXT champion. He got injured, so he had to relinquish the title. He was in the exact same room. It's like a lecture hall, because NXT is shot at Full Sail University. So they're at a lecture hall. He walks up, hands the belt to Triple H, and he gives this impassioned speech about how he's going to be back better than ever. He's going to reclaim the NXT championship. But he says that, he was actually scared. He was terrified, in fact. He didn't know if he was ever going to be able to do this again, if he'd ever get his opportunity. I mean, we're talking about NXT TakeOver. It was during WrestleMania weekend, biggest crowd, biggest stage, and he missed it last year. And he said he didn't think he'd ever be able to get back to that point. And now, fast forward a whole year later, he's back, he's healthy, and he's getting an opportunity at the title again.
I'm excited to see it. Tommaso Ciampa is a fantastic competitor, and he's just so impassioned about the business and about what he does. So, hats off to you, dude. I can't wait to see what happens this weekend.
My favorite part of this promo was when he just goes, they say a man is the most dangerous when he has nothing left to lose. Well, Adam Cole, when you look in my eyes, you will know just how true that is. It was great. Like I loved everything about this promo. And that leads into the main event of NXT, which
Adam Cole baby versus
Kushida, who has the Jericho entrance apparently.
Yeah. Countdown on the board, and then the
break the walls down. Yeah, it's very Jericho-like.
This match didn't need to happen.
No. And what even kind of annoyed me more, I mean, I guess you could have done that for Rhea Ripley too, technically. But the way they were like, the rest of the UE isn't there. Minus Roderick Strong.
Roddy Strong is too emotionally upset to be at ringside. And Fish and O'Reilly couldn't be there because they have press obligations before Portland.
And it's like, but you're NXT champion? That just has nothing to do, I guess. Yeah, it's a little weird, but it's one of those, like, you just kind of have to go, okay, it's wrestling, whatever. So we get Adam Cole versus Kushida. I wasn't, looking forward to this match all night. I mean, I knew it was going to be, a decent match, but I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was.
No, it was a very good match. It does everything it needs to do. It checks all the boxes. Kushida looks very, very strong.
At one point, I thought he was going to win.
Yeah, continues to show that he is one of the best in the world. And that, he is going to be a rising star in NXT. And Adam Cole, of course, looks amazing. Adam Cole is able to pick up the win.
Yep, last shot for the victory. And after, out comes Tommaso Ciampa.
Ciampa takes probably about 3.5 minutes to get into the ring.
Yeah, it seemed like Triple H in the back was like, this match ended a little bit faster than I thought. Ciampa, I need you to take 5 minutes to get to the ring.
You just went between Triple H and Donald Trump there. To the ring. That's terrifying.
I was going to say, I don't want to think about that.
And then he gets right in the face of Kushida. Adam Cole. Alex.
Baby.
Fudge.
So Ciampa comes out to the ring. Takes about 10 minutes to do it. And he stands right across from Adam Cole.
That one.
Yep.
That guy.
They lock eyes and they just start mouthing off at each other. Tommaso Ciampa goes, come Portland, I get my life back. And Adam Cole goes,
over my dead body, you will.
And I was kind of waiting for Ciampa to be like, okay, that can be arranged.
That's it. Good night.
Yep. G Night. See you later. Live from Full Sail. Yeah. Full Sail. I liked this episode of NXT.
It wasn't bad.
There was only like one low point for me, and it was the women's match. Other than that, I thought it was fine.
Match of the night.
Match of the night. I'm going to have to say it's probably it's between the Lio Rush match and the Adam Cole match, but I'm gonna have to say it's for Lio Rush and Angel Garza. That's gonna be my match of the night. Mainly because I actually cared about that match compared to the Adam Cole versus Kushida match.
Now, while I wasn't taking notes, my match of the night is still the Angel Garza and Lio Rush match. You guys put on a hell of a show. And my MVP, no surprise, Lio Rush.
Really? Okay. I so badly want to give MVP to Matt Riddle, just for making me laugh.
For putting Pete Dunne in a plane and then closing the door behind him.
Yeah, I just thought that was hilarious.
That was great.
But I think I'm actually going to give my MVP to... I'm trying so hard to not agree with you on these things, but... God, I gotta go with Lio Rush.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are keeping count at home, Lio Rush is now tied for first in MVP voting with Keith Lee.
Keith Lee. Yes, so it's Lio Rush and Keith Lee at the top. What a combo there.
We'll move on to what I'm good at now.
You're good at this?
Do you want to have a match at TakeOver Portland?
Bet, let's go.
I heard they have room on the card. They only have 7 matches playing.
You can't even name them. I mean, neither can I, but I don't. So, we get into All Elite Wrestling Wednesday night Dynamite live from Texas.
Austin, Texas, home of the Longhorns. Yeah, I mean, we kick things off right away.
Right with a title match.
We do not... AEW's not been messing around. There's no cold opens. It is...
No entrances. It's just in the ring announcement. Tag title match.
World Tag Team Championship match. SCU with Christopher Daniels at ringside against Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
Before the match starts, the Dark Order appears on the screen. And they announce that, they're going to be watching. But one of us might be watching a little bit closer than you think.
And just so you know, we are patiently awaiting the arrival of the Exalted One. Boy, aren't we all. Matt Hardy, I can't wait.
We did get the terrifying news that you mentioned earlier, that Matt Hardy actually is engaging in conversations with WWE about potentially extending his contract.
So recent news is that WWE officials are reaching out to Matt Hardy, seeing if there's anything they can do to have Matt Hardy re-sign, because, of course, they know the alternative. The alternative is he goes to AEW, he is the Exalted One, and he absolutely makes that brand skyrocket.
Now, there's got to be, if you're Matt Hardy, you got to just look at WWE and be like, okay, you want me back? That's fine. What's Randy Orton making?
Yeah, what would you give the other guy who threatened to leave?
Yeah, I want that. I want whatever he's on.
Yeah. See, this is the difference, though. Randy Orton, yeah, he likes wrestling, whatever. He's in it for the money.
Yeah.
You talk to Matt Hardy, he's in it for the wrestling.
Yeah.
So you talk to Matt Hardy and you talk to him about where he'd rather be, I bet you he'd rather be in AEW.
This is also the kind of weird thing I've always thought about wrestling, is that I can't believe that there's no, clause in contracts or anything about just openly having discussions with other companies while you're under contract still with your company.
There is a clause about openly having discussions with other companies. He has not had a contract negotiation with All Elite Wrestling.
That is fair. But just the fact
But he's leaving for AEW and everybody knows it.
The fact that it's that, noticeable. Hell, Randy Orton actually was making He made it very known, like,
that he was considering leaving,
AEW.
yeah.
So it's like, how can there not be some kind of, like...
I
mean, you get, like, in the NBA, you get tampering fines.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how can there not be some kind of, you can't do that? Like,
I still absolutely love the story of Randy Orton going, yeah, I want what Jericho makes, and AEW going, yeah, he's our world champion and literally our entire brand, so no.
And I respect the hustle, Randy, because he literally just used AEW to rake up his bank account. So.
Well, and then if you ask Randy, and he was on a podcast, he said, I was genuinely considering it.
Yeah.
I was genuinely considering jumping ship until they told me that they were not going to pay me what Jericho was making. And then I said, all right, well, I'm still going to use this as bargaining chip back home.
Yeah, it's like, no, duh, Randy, they're not going to pay you what Jericho makes. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're Randy Orton, don't get me wrong.
Kenny Omega.
You are a living legend, but who...
What the hell do you think you are? Even Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks aren't making what Jericho makes, and they're EVPs.
And who do you want to have? Like, you think about all these guys that you could have from WWE and all the dream matches. What dream matches are there? Randy Cody?
See, no, I kind of disagree with you there. Randy Orton is an amazing talent. I mean, you could think of Randy versus Kenny Omega. I mean, you could do the storyline where Randy shows up in AEW and says, all right, it's time, let's assert my dominance against these indie darlings. I mean, he could just run through them one after the other. Kenny, the Young Bucks, Adam Page, like, just assert his dominance. Or you could have him just get squashed. Because you could do
Because WWE has done this before.
Yeah, so, well, I don't think AEW would be that petty, though. But just you could do a lot with Randy Orton. I would have loved to have seen Randy in AEW, mainly because it would just be hilarious. Because Randy Orton isn't like, an AJ Styles who had to come up through the indie scene. He's not even like a Roman Reigns who, like, at least had a little bit of time developmental. He started out main roster.
No. He was in OVW for like a month.
Yeah.
He was there with Brock.
Yeah, but he immediately he came out. I mean, obviously he's third generation.
Yeah.
So I mean, he came out immediately, son of Cowboy Bob Orton, main roster, teaming with Triple H, Batista, and Ric Flair in Evolution. World title after world title. I mean, this is a guy that cut his teeth main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah, he never got his comeuppance.
Yeah, so it's like, I would love to see him just get his, pardon the language, ass kicked in AEW.
On the indies?
Yeah.
Indies. It's not the indies. It's TNT.
Yeah.
You have a major television deal. You're not
an
indies,
indie
but you're
promotion.
close enough.
Let's, we've kind of gotten off track here. Let's get...
So, it was a great match. This was a fantastic match, as all AEW tag team matches are. A lot of false finishes. A couple of different times I thought the titles were going to change hands.
For the gimmick being that Hangman Adam Page is like the quote unquote not weak link, but like he's the alcoholic. He has been carrying Kenny in these tag matches. Like, and Kenny is like, I mean, I highly regard as one of the best in the world, but he has been carrying Kenny Omega in these tag matches. Like, if it wasn't for Hangman, they wouldn't even have won the titles.
I bet you Hangman Page is going to use that in his promos.
Yep. I do got one note, because Arian, what's up with your hair, bud?
Yeah, okay, so I mentioned this before the match. Frankie, I can see your hair now.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But it's not, like, it doesn't grow.
You got that Randy Orton's hair, bro.
It's literally just, like, little pieces. Like, have you ever watched grass grow? It doesn't grow in as just small amounts in full patches. It's like piece.
You ever see like LeBron when like his fake hair is falling out? Like,
yeah,
kind of like that. So, Sarah, you gotta get that. You gotta get that taken care of for next week. But I loved this match. It was fantastic. They kind of did an angle where like Hangman got hurt for a little bit, and then Kenny got injured. And I actually thought at one point that they were gonna lose this match, but mainly because there was an announcement made during the middle of the match. Yeah, that whoever loses will go on to compete in a tag team battle royale.
Which I had mentioned, it would be perfect for Hangman and Kenny to go into that, and they would get time in the ring with the Bucks, And then possibly something along the lines of them not being able to work together. Yeah. Kenny Omega gets eliminated, Hangman Page gets upset, or something like that.
But then I did mention that it would actually make more sense, at least in my opinion, if they won, because then you could see the Young Bucks win the Battle Royale.
And then we get Omega and Hangman
versus the Young Bucks for the tag titles.
Revolution.
Oh, I need it.
And then have the Bucks go over by beating Kenny. Hangman gets mad. We get the Hangman Kenny spot that we've been dying for, and that'll go on till probably Double or Nothing.
Yep. And we just might get that match, too, because Hangman and Kenny do pick up the victory with a buckshot lariat into a V-trigger combination.
And they didn't leave much room for pulling punches on that one. That was a yikers.
I was pretty sure, what was it? It was on Kazarian?
Kazarian,
I'm pretty sure Kazarian died.
And we get a 1, 2, 3, but Kazarian is holding onto the rope.
It was like at the split
Two
second.
2.5, he grabbed the rope.
It was like a split second, like right after. Like it was like as he was hitting 3, he grabbed it. That's how the announcers said it.
So interesting to see what happens to referee. I believe that was Rick Knox.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I can't remember the guy's name. I really only know 2 of the refs in AEW, and
you don't need to know all of them.
No, it's probably best that I don't know your name.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I know the 2 I know because they're good. Though,
well, no, it seemed like that was a Kazarian mistake because as the storytelling that the commentators were telling was that it was supposed to be like, oh, Kazarian's lethargic and he was going to grab the ropes, but he was just too tired, and so he grabs it after the count.
Yeah.
But he kind of like grabbed it like a hair too fast,
early, yeah.
So you could have that controversy there. But no, it's a clean victory. The combo of Kenny and Page do pick up the victory here.
Hangman grabs a beer from a fan, heads up through the crowd.
Kenny walks out, and then the Dark Order appears, as if they're going to attack SCU, but then the best friends come out to save the day, but then we get Butcher and the Blade, and we get this spot. Because we have the tag team battle royale, so every single tag team in the locker room is going to empty out and then stare at each other. Except you're going to have, like, the faces on one side and the heels on the other.
And they're all going to throw each other over the ropes.
They're all going to fight, and it was... I don't like that spot in WWE. I don't like it in AEW. I just don't like that spot.
Yeah, see, I don't think I would have minded this so much if it was original.
Yeah.
This just feels like, well, WWE does it, so we'll do it. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's like... It's so played out, man. It really is. So, but I mean, it's cool to see all the tag teams, minus Angelico and Jack Evans. But the Young Bucks stand tall at the end. So I'm assuming they're gonna put the Young Bucks over next week.
I would bet.
Yeah, I mean, while I wouldn't mind another SCU versus Kenny and Hangman, I think
the Lucha Bros, but we're getting the Lucha Bros.
We're getting that next week. Which, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume that they're just trying to make sure they get a big enough attendance in Atlanta because, again, they're working with a 16 to 18,000 seat arena in Atlanta. So yeah, they're probably just trying to spring for last second attendance boost. That'd be my guess.
So after this, we get a fire Santana promo. And this is, again, one of those things where you talk about wrestling bringing emotion out of you. Because Santana, he talks about his life growing up in the Bronx 10 years ago. Talks about how he had nothing, was living in a basement. Like, he felt like every day he was just in darkness constantly.
He called his dad on the phone at 3:30 in the morning. He told him how he felt. And his dad said, "That's how I live every day of my life."
His dad's blind.
His dad
was blind.
Started going blind at age 14, went fully blind at age 25, and recently passed, I would guess, from the promo. It didn't really mention.
Yeah, he said that his dad was taken from him.
Yeah, so Santana cuts an absolutely fire promo and then tells Moxley, by turning your back on the inner circle, you've built your coffin. I'm going to plunge you into darkness.
So, if I didn't already care about this match, I certainly cared about it after that. That was fantastic.
Absolutely.
We then get something that was announced the last minute before the show.
Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara
As
with Jake Hager.
As this is the hometown of one Dustin Rhodes.
Hometown hero Dustin Rhodes. And I'm going to say it every time I see him in a ring. He hasn't lost a step.
No, he still looks amazing.
Dustin, and you did mention a lot of it has to do with the fact that his moveset is reasonable.
He's not like Undertaker trying to do power moves at the age of 60. He's not like Jericho trying to do like flippy stuff.
Yep.
Like he's
a grappler.
He's a brawler.
He's a brawler. He's a grappler. He's a wrestler. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, aside from the Destroyer, which when did he add that to his repertoire? I think he added that when he came over.
Yeah. I don't know where that
aside
came
from that, it's a pretty straightforward moveset.
Yeah. So before this match starts, we get another Darby Allin promo. And this was him kind of mocking Sami Zayn, although we do find out Sammy Guevara, excuse me, although we do find out that actually there is something wrong from the attack. The way they jam the skateboard into his throat. He actually is having complications with his throat.
He's unable to speak currently.
So he starts using, the way Sammy Guevara uses the signs.
cards.
Yep, the cue cards and picture-to-picture. He starts using that. And just basically talking about how, he's going to get his revenge on Sammy Guevara. And he's like, hey, you got anything to do? You got any plans for Revolution? He wants to have a match.
And then the last cue card is a picture of Sammy Guevara with the quote, and I'm quoting here, "I got herpes from kissing Chris Jericho's ass."
Wow.
That was uncomfortable to say.
It was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, Darby.
I don't want to think about
Bro. Yeah, playing it cool there. I love that, Darby. I love the segment. I love that you kind of ripped that off.
Speaking of ripping things off, Sammy Guevara, as he's on his way to the ring, you made a stunning revelation.
He is wearing a t-shirt of him in stained glass. Wow.
Who else do we know, Nick, that wears a t-shirt with himself in stained glass form?
It might be that jackass on Monday nights who has been probing and prodding at the guys on Wednesdays.
Yep. That would be one self-proclaimed Monday Night Messiah.
Well, now you're dealing with a Spanish god.
Yeah.
The chutzpah.
Yeah.
The cojones.
I love it, man.
Bollocks.
I love it, man.
Of Sammy Guevara.
Taking shots.
Dude,
I love it.
Look, I like Seth Rollins as a wrestler. The way he's been doing what he's been doing, talking about AEW, talking absolute crap about you guys, take every shot you want.
Please. I'm perfectly fine with it. Like, I like you, Seth, but you kind of been a jerk these past couple months. So.
And instead of the tagline, burn it down, it was hit me up.
I love it, man.
Oh my gosh. This was perfect. Sammy, I love you.
So this was one of those matches where one of the few times that I was wrong. Like, you were wrong in NXT with your booking. I was kind of wrong here with my booking of this match because I was thinking WWE booking when I should have been thinking just
indie booking.
Yeah, I guess it just doesn't matter. Because I'm thinking, Dustin's, getting a little up there in age. Sammy Guevara, obviously, he's the young talent. You're trying to build him. And
now he might have a match with Darby Allin.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, you want to keep him looking strong, right? Especially because AEW keeps preaching that wins and losses matter.
And if you're going by WWE booking, Dustin already lost.
Yeah,
because it's his hometown.
Hometown heroes never win unless you're John Cena. Yeah. So I was just like, well, yeah, Dustin's lost. And I mean, even you take out the hometown hero part, I just expect Dustin to lose. I mean, he's kind of at that point in his career where he's putting over the younger guys, He has nothing to gain by winning this match.
But he does.
We do find out we find out later.
The whole night, of course, Jake Hager is in tow with Sammy Guevara
in the inner circle.
And he interferes in the match multiple times, as Jake Hager does. And Dustin does win the match.
Yeah, he wins with the Final Reckoning, which is just a crossroads.
It's a modified crossroads. It's a crossroads.
Yes.
So Sammy Guevara rolls out of the ring, and Jake Hager and him walk up the ramp, and he goes, "Hey, turn around!
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
Jericho's bitch."
Woo! Woo!
Jake Hager turns around with those psychotic eyes that he has. The not to steal a line, but psycho killer vibe you get. And he's like, "I'm sorry, you talking to me?" And Dustin goes, "So when are you gonna actually get into the ring here?
You just gonna keep milking a paycheck?
'Cause your MMA career sucks. Your wrestling career sucks. And you've only been here for a little while and you already suck. Why don't you step into the ring like a man and take me on at Wrevolution?" No, don't shake your... I need you to come down here, look me in the eyes, and accept.
Or Hager does not do that. He instead turns his back and walks up the ramp. We then get the amazing line from JR. Well, Jake Hager's MMA career is not failing. He's actually undefeated.
Yeah, and I mentioned that. I was like, okay, it's not failing. It's just, he drew in his last one.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then we do get the announcement later on that apparently Jake Hager, when he went to the back, went right up to the officials and was like, "Hey, might as well."
This match is happening. Jake Hager's first ever AEW match.
And it's against Dustin Rhodes.
And before we started the episode tonight, I said, I bet you Hager's first match is going to be at Wrevolution. It's going to be either Dustin or Luchasaurus.
Man, I wish it was the latter of the two.
Yeah. Well, I came up with a dream match scenario for you later.
You did.
So we then get
the best segment
of every night.
Of every Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Britt Baker.
Being interviewed by one Tony Schiavone.
So she comes out and Tony goes for a handshake. No, give me a hug.
Gives him a hug.
And then she goes, "Oh, but I'm going to stand on this side. That's my better side." And it was that was a fire promo.
She basically justifies the attack last week because she basically justifies using some type of like dentist lingo.
It's my legal and moral obligation as a dentist to help procure the public health and safety.
She basically said that the tooth that she knocked out was going to fall out anyway.
It was rotting and decaying. It needed to come. I extracted her tooth for free. I did her a favor.
And I don't even know her. Does anyone know her? She doesn't even work here.
She just showed up on my stage. I mean, stage.
She doesn't have health care.
But we know you do, Tony, because you work at Starbucks. Hey, now, let's give Tony a hand, because he's trying his best here, guys.
And then as the crowd starts applying and shouting, Tony, she just goes, "Stand up straight."
Yeah, and Tony Schiavone looked so uncomfortable. I love her with Tony Schiavone.
Oh, it's great. It's amazing.
And then he asks her about the match with Riho and Nyla Rose, which is going to happen next, we find out. What do you think about this match? She goes, "It doesn't matter what the outcome is, because no matter what happens, the women's champion is always going to be number 2 to me."
And then she gives a horns down. So, shot to Texas. That gets massive boos. I forgot about the one thing that kind of led into the boos was the shot at Whataburger.
Yes. And they start chanting, "Whataburger."
Yeah. Like, loudly. Which, okay, if you've ever been to Texas, Whataburger's good. So, I gotta get it.
With you, what was it? You fat-faced Whataburger Hicks?
I think at one point, Whataburger was trending on Twitter.
Yeah, I would bet. And then we get the match.
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, the native beast Nyla Rose and Riho.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
All right. We need it. First of all, AEW crowd, I'm addressing you personally.
Yeah, we got a problem here.
Why in the F are you cheering for Riho?
What are you doing? Like, seriously.
I get the appeal of Riho. I do. She left you high and dry for 3 months, coming back for 2 title defenses. She doesn't deserve it. She doesn't deserve your praise. She doesn't deserve their title. She doesn't deserve a spot in the company. She deserves to be in the dumpster behind the, what was it, the HEB Center in Austin, Texas, carted to the trash, thrown in a landfill, and kept there for the rest of her life. Because that is what she treats you, the fans, as. Garbage.
You done?
Garbage.
Dog food. Yeah, so I was kind of caught speechless. I don't understand why the fans were not just cheering, but they were hot for Riho. I mean, I'm talking, she was over. Like, Riho chants every time she hit a big move. Crowd was up on their feet, standing ovations. I'm just like, this is the same woman who literally has just showed you she does not care about AEW. Her obligations clearly to whatever company she's working for back in Japan. Like, I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense.
I really don't get it.
Like,
And
when Brock was leaving and Goldberg was leaving, WWE fans didn't cheer them.
Hell, she got booed a couple weeks ago when Britt Baker ripped her apart.
I'll tell you what. You know what? I bet you it's the crowd.
The Texas crowd?
And it's nothing against Texas. It's nothing against Austin. I'm thinking this is a city nowhere near any of the events that have happened so far. Maybe they were just excited to see Riho. Because, I mean, I was excited to see her when we saw her.
And she's not bad in the ring.
She's really good in the ring. But
and
she treats you like trash.
Well, I think, and I kind of had a crazy conspiracy theory. I think it's the Kenny effect. Because we know that, you know, people that tend to hang around Kenny Omega kind of get that rub because he's that big of a star.
Well, and
that
she's his chosen mixed tag team match partner.
Yeah. And maybe it could be the appeal. I'll give a perfect example. It's like when I'll go back. I'll actually have 2 examples. One, it's when, like with Brock Lesnar, because no matter how much you boo him and he's never around and we hate him because he doesn't do anything with the title. When he shows up in your city, he gets a standing ovation.
Suplex City chants, counting along.
And you have like 90% of the people in the crowd wearing his Brock was here t-shirt.
Yep.
Like or it's like with Vince McMahon when, you know, people say Vince doesn't know what he's doing, please retire, give up the company.
Second he shows
you
up.
hear that No Chance in Hell theme song, you got people doing this and thank you Vince chants. So it's got to be the same thing with Riho, where, like, you know, you haven't seen her in forever, and you're mad that she's not there. So when she finally does show up, you give her all your love and adulation. Maybe if you love her enough, she won't leave you. Like,
Has that logic ever worked for anyone? Ever? So, this match was really good. Really good.
It was better than their first. Much better than their first match.
Nyla had me genuinely scared a couple times that she was going to lose.
There was actually, and I said this to you, there was, the way this match started, Riho actually got a roll-up on Nyla Rose, like, that got this close to pinning Nyla. Like, it was so, I actually thought she was, that
we
that
were
was
ready
the match.
to just turn the TV off.
I literally told Nick, I said, if they had hit that, if Riho had pinned Nyla in a squash match roll-up in like 30 seconds, I literally would have cut the TV off, said, we're done, go home, going to watch Sonic. Yep. I literally would have just been done for the night. No review, nope, nothing. Because that's how angry I would have been. But they did not do that, so we continued. And I'm glad that we did. Wow, like, you know, this wasn't just a classic, you know, small woman, big woman match. This was like Superman in a tiny Asian woman's body because my God, Riho, like powering up Nyla Rose with ease. My God, I didn't know she was John Cena incarnate.
Well, and the funny thing is, Nyla Rose was the one who was hitting all the Cena's moves.
Yeah, we had the Avalanche FU. We had the attempt at an STFU.
Yeah, and then, of course, Riho hit the Snapdragon twice, went for the V-trigger. It was our proxy Cena-Omega match.
There was one point, though, when Nyla went for a one-winged angel.
Yeah, she went for a one-winged angel.
And I was just like, huh?
That would have been really funny if she would have hit that and Riho would have kicked out.
Riho would have kicked out. Well, it wouldn't
First
matter.
time the move would ever been kicked out of, though.
Wouldn't matter, though, because it's not Kenny.
No, it's not Kenny, but it would have been the first time ever that move has been kicked out of. Other people have used it, and it's never been... Well, other people have used it, it's never been kicked out of when it's been called that. Technically, there's a couple moves that are close.
I've seen that move in WWE before.
The Ulster Plantation.
Yes. So, I mean... But... Yeah, I mean, technically, you're right. It would have if they were giving callbacks to acknowledge that it was moves that was Kenny. JR even said, "Is she going for a one-winged angel?" So, yeah, this was great. Again, I didn't know that Riho was John Cena incarnate because it wasn't just like they were doing the she's struggling to get Nyla Rose up.
Nope.
She was whoop, with ease. I was like, huh?
And finally, I get a championship match that makes me jump out of my seat. You know the last time I jumped up for joy like that? Actually, that's not fair. That's not totally fair. It was the Jericho match. But let's pretend that doesn't count because we were there.
We jumped up for every match.
When Ambrose cashed in.
Yeah.
That was the last time I jumped up. I remember waking my mom up that night. Her yelling down the stairs, "What the hell is wrong with you two?" Me going, "I'm so sorry, Dean won the title." And she went, "What the hell are you talking about?"
And you can just tell, we were excited because I took a glance over at Nick's notes and it just says Nyla is the mother effing champion. It's just great. I am so happy. Thank you, AEW. You pulled the trigger as you should have months ago originally. Thank you. Thank you, seriously.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who her first competitor is going to be.
The women's division finally has a champion who cares, who will be here at least on a week to semi-weekly basis.
Yep. We have a badass champion in Nyla Rose.
And this doesn't mean that I don't hope to never see Riho again. I hope to still see Riho compete.
Yeah.
In AEW.
And when her obligation with whatever tiny little company in Japan that she apparently thinks is more important than AEW runs out, then I'd love to see it in an AEW ring.
Yeah, I mean, you're still fantastic.
Show up.
Yes, just please show up.
So Nyla Rose is champion. We have Britt Baker, who is an absolute mouthpiece.
I want to see that match.
Well, and we still have a lot of good talent. We have Priscilla Kelly. We have B. Priestley. We have...
I just think of the promos.
Oh, I know.
That Britt Baker could cut on Nyla Rose.
Ooh, those could get uncomfortable, though.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, those could get really uncomfortable.
I don't want to think... No, never mind.
I don't want that match now.
No. So, next we get a Jericho and Inner Circle interview. And Jericho makes the announcement that next week it's going to be, if he survives his match with Santana this week, next week it is Jon Moxley versus, go ahead,
Jeff Cobb.
Now, a lot of you guys are probably just like, who?
Okay. Former ROH television champion. I could be wrong about that. Former Suplex Wrestling World Champion, former member of the IWGP, and former Gift of the Gods Champion, former World Heavyweight Champion in Lucha Underground. You may know him as I did and as I introduced you, Matanza Cueto.
The original Keith Lee, at least that we knew.
Yes, this man is huge.
He's a big boy.
He's a brick of a human. And he is one of the most athletic big men I've ever seen in my life. You want to go see athleticism? Look up the Matanza Cueto debut in Lucha Underground and watch what this man can do. This was the first time I ever saw somebody that big hit a standing shooting star press.
Yeah.
Welcome to All Elite Wrestling, Jeff friggin' Cobb.
Yeah, that's talk about acquiring superstar talent. That's a big signing for AEW.
And again, it's something that people who might not be big indie fans might not know.
And
if you never watched Lucha Underground or Ring of Honor, or I think he did a small stint with Impact or New Japan, or
well, just congratulations to AEW. You've got your Dijakovic and Keith Lee. You've got Jungle
Luchasaurus and Jeff
Cobb,
which is what the aforementioned dream match I mentioned. I said, could you imagine Luchasaurus and Jeff Cobb?
Yeah,
that would be Dijakovic and Keith Lee. The difference is, I like Keith Lee's personality more than Jeff Cobb's, and I like Luchasaurus's more than Dijakovic's.
Yes. So, after that blockbuster announcement, we get MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the salt of the earth, the man that he's better than you and you know it, versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry,
who took to Instagram earlier this week to say, MJF is scared because I'm better than him, and he knows it.
Well, we will see. We do get Brandy Rhodes on commentary, and they kind of address, what happened last week.
And they show replays of her husband getting whipped on live television.
To which JR apologizes. I'm sorry you had to watch that again. She's just like, yeah.
I'll probably be seeing that for years to come.
Yeah. So, Brandy Rhodes didn't really do much here on commentary. No. In fact, she didn't really talk much at all.
She did until the first commercial break.
Yeah.
It seemed like she had really good rapport, and then when they went away from commercial break, she
pulled a Byron.
Stopped.
Yeah, she just stopped talking.
But she was there for what she needed to be there for.
Quick little side note on the segment last week with MJF and Cody. We did find out the fan, it did come to light that it actually wasn't a fan. It was a planned spot. It was a plant in the crowd that attacked MJF, just designed to draw heat.
Now, on the upside, AEW did such a good job that you had me fooled. So
yeah. So we then, of course, see MJF versus Jungle Boy. This was a good match.
Yep. MJF comes out, takes off the Dynamite Diamond ring, hands it to Wardlow, and says, I don't need you. I got this. Jungle Boy comes out, and he sends Luchasaurus back to the locker room.
And Small Boy.
And Marco Stunt. And this is a good match. Jungle Boy the whole time is fighting through a back injury. They're saying his back is starting to spasm.
Now, I call bull on this because when my character in Madden gets back spasms, he's out the entire game.
light back spasms, maybe he could handle it.
Well, especially my man's just going for like suplexes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, at least use your head a little bit.
It was a good match between two really good young competitors. It did suffer a little bit, I want to say, from having Nyla go on before, and the fact that the MJF storyline really doesn't get any huge progression till next week.
Yeah.
Because Wardlow and Cody are in the steel cage next week, which I cannot wait for. So it suffered a little bit from that. But both of these guys, and JR and Tony and Excalibur talked about it, this in 2-3 years could be your main event of your top pay-per-view, Jungle Boy and MJF.
Yes.
And they're both exorbitantly young.
Jungle Boy, we found out tonight, is 22 years old.
Yep, he's our age and looks like that.
Wow.
I'm our age and probably look older than Cody at times.
This is just the only thing that, and this isn't a shot at MJF or Jungle Boy. This is more of just kind of an annoyance with the fact that I'm going through Luchasaurus withdrawals, man. I need Luchasaurus in a match on AEW television.
I need the big man back.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I know he returned from injury. He did a couple things here and there, but he hasn't
trying to take things light.
But I need a Luchasaurus match, at least even a tag match, something. I mean, I'm going through Luchasaurus withdrawals, man. I need my dinosaur. So, but this was a good match. The ending was smart on the hand of MJF. So we do see, his name escapes me. Wardlow come back out. And while the ref's distracted by Jungle Boy, he slides MJF the ring, puts it back on his finger, and then punch to the face with what they're calling the Dynamite Diamond, connects flush with Jungle Boy, takes the ring back off, hands it to Wardlow, and then hits what he calls the double cross for the 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Good match.
Yeah.
Really, really good match. There's nothing bad to say about anything on this episode of AEW, really.
I mean, it was... If there was... I mean, if there was a down point for this, I would say it was the goofy spot with the tag teams. I thought was a little goofy. The Dustin versus Sammy Guevara match while it was good, I mean, I don't know. It was whatever. And then even this MJF versus Jungle Boy match, it was like, why? Just kind of cuz. So it's kind of like the Adam Cole Kushida match. I'm just like, why?
It's a good match, but
like, why?
Why?
Just like the Bianca Belair versus I don't even know what her name is because she's so irrelevant. Mrs. Development
versus Developmental Jobber.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, and that got saved because of what happened after it, so. And yeah, cool. We move on to I go back and forth on if it's pronounced Pac or Pac.
It's Pac.
Yeah, it's whatever the hell I want to call you this week. So Pac cuts a promo, and it was a promo package, excuse me, and basically just ripping Kenny to shreds. Says that he realized that Kenny is afraid of him.
Well, and as he should be, because I am the best in the world. Taking some shots at Kenny Omega. I like to see it. And then he says, and 30 minutes, you should be so excited for yourself. You, Kenny Omega, get to be in the ring with the best in the world for 30 minutes. What a poor bastard. Turnabout is fair play. I like it. It was a good promo. Again, I did not have a qualm with a single segment. Except maybe the tag team one.
No, I liked this. This was good. We then get the main event.
An eye for an eye.
Jon Moxley versus Santana. So at the beginning, Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hager come out to their suite and to watch the match. And then Moxley comes out, and him and Santana get into a fight pre-match in the crowd.
Ortiz follows them around, not hitting Moxley for some reason, but that's okay. They fight through the crowd a little bit and then fight back into the ring.
Bells ring, and the match begins. So, you had me. You fooled me, AEW. You did it. This is now the second time you've done this to me, where you get me hooked into a match, into a feud, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm hooked in, especially with that Santana promo earlier in the night. And then this is kind of what you give to me. I mean, I
didn't like the match?
I might be speaking. Yeah, I guess I'm speaking for myself here. It was alright, but I really didn't. It didn't grab my attention. It didn't hook me.
And this is the thing. I don't know how high your expectations were, but this is Santana's first singles match in over a year and a half. About like a year and a half. I expected nothing. Like I literally expected less than the match we got. So I think Santana did a good job. He was able to work a couple of good singles spots, and that's the important thing for a tag team guy like that is to get some singles reps to get your to continue to work out some of the kinks in your singles work, because I mean maybe you're not going to be a tag team guy forever.
And well, here's the thing though, is that I mean whether you've had a singles match, on screen in forever, I mean, I guarantee you he's probably been behind the scenes working on his craft, for the past I don't know how long. Yeah. And I mean, it's not just something you forget how to do. I mean, maybe kayfabe wise, it's like, oh, I don't know how to work a singles match anymore.
Right, but that's the point.
So you're saying he had a bad match because kayfabe?
No.
I hope not.
I'm not saying he had a bad match because of kayfabe. I'm saying, as a tag team wrestler, you do focus most of your ability, most of your spots on tag team wrestling. So he's going to be going over spots and stuff with Ortiz, whereas in this kind of match, he doesn't have a whole lot to go to.
See, I think I just think the only reason this match was poor was because you got both guys rocking the freaking eye patch. And, the commentators even kind of addressed it. That impairs your ability to, have a 5-star classic.
So the match was bad because of kayfabe?
Match was bad because they just can't see. That's the problem with having them rock an eye patch week in and week out. I mean, it looks, on Moxley at least, it looks amazing. I did like the Santana eye patch. It had the Puerto Rican flag on it. That's kind of cool. But, I mean, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. I mean, I don't know. I was expecting, a little bit more. I was expecting it to get more violent, I guess, was the thing. The way Santana was talking about, plunging Moxley into darkness and the way this has kind of been built up, I was expecting violence.
The stair spot, that about had me.
Yeah, that was and they didn't even follow through with it. They were like, oh, nope, pull away. And I didn't expect them, obviously, to slam Moxley's eye into... His good eye into a staircase. But, I mean... I don't know. I was expecting. This is one of those matches where I thought, okay, if you're gonna, do the thing with violence and you're trying to build up this feud, this should have been like a no DQ match.
Yeah.
This definitely suffered from being a regular rules match. You didn't even give much ref discretion here. The ref was very on top of things in this match. Mm-hmm. This definitely should have been some type of no disqualification match. I think it would have been much better.
And then, of course, we do get the spot later on where Ortiz spits. Liquor in the eyes of Jon Moxley, blinding him in his good eye. And Moxley then goes after Santana and gouges
claws at the good eye.
And then both men are just blind,
stumbling around,
absolutely shadow
And
boxing.
then this is Moxley. Paradigm shift.
Yeah, the first semblance of human. That could have been Renee. Referee. For all you know.
It could have been the referee.
Yep.
It is paradigm shift.
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, Moxley picks up the victory.
But does he? Because
then he gets absolutely obliterated by the Inner Circle.
Yeah, Ortiz starts whipping him with the Mad Ball, which you called something different 3 weeks ago.
It's a sock filled with baseball.
Settle on a name, please.
Or just don't name it. It's a sock filled with baseballs.
Jericho, Hager, and Guevara rush down to the ring. Jericho starts whipping him with the title belt.
We see Hager with the running knee to the bollocks.
And then Jericho looks at the stage and gestures. He goes, come on out.
And down comes Jeff Cobb for the first time ever in All Elite Wrestling.
This man looks so terrifying.
He's massive. He's scary looking. And he is athletic as all hell.
He just needs some face tats.
Oh, God, no. No face tats.
Umaga.
No face tats.
But, yeah, no. Jeff Cobb comes down to the ring. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Jeff Cobb to finally get into a ring next week with Moxley, even though I don't expect the quality of the match to be that great because, Moxley's blind. And then
this is going to be the thing that bugs me about that match with Jeff Cobb, is he going to win? Because if he's not, then is Moxley going to win clean, or are you going to do an interference spot again? What do you do?
Would guess. I would hazard a guess.
Because you can't put Moxley over a man like that clean. No, you just can't.
No.
That ruins all momentum, out the gate.
You could play the stupid factor, though.
Well, that, and you could also do the whole, Moxley's undefeated, hasn't lost a singles match, and he's the number one contender. Yeah. But this is Jeff friggin' Cobb, dude.
Yeah. I think if Moxley wins, it's going to be something like Cobb goes for something unnecessarily huge.
Roll up.
And then Mox hits a roll up, or catches him when he's going off the turnbuckle with a paradigm shift or something like that. Cobb is going for something over the top, and by risking it all, he loses.
Well, I could think about this too. I mean, how many weeks do we have until? Is it next week?
Okay, so
The AEW pay-per-view?
No, next week is the 19th. Then we have the 26th is a Wednesday, and then the AEW pay-per-view is that Saturday.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I mean, you could do the whole they attack and beat down, which they might do still even way, where they just attack and beat down Moxley, interference, just match goes into a contest, or you could do the spot where Moxley just catches him off guard, which I think that would probably be the better of the two. Because Jeff Cobb eats an L, but it's not like he beat him flush, he's just over. He just outsmarted him. I take that.
We're both forgetting one option.
What's the other option?
What does AEW have that WWE doesn't? Time limit draw.
I don't want to see that.
I bet you it's going to be 20 minutes, time limit, 20-minute time limit draw.
I don't want to see Moxley take him to a draw, though.
I don't either.
I think that would be almost as bad as him just losing. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. I don't know. I could see that happening. There's a whole number of things that could happen.
It'd be different if this was later on down the future, Moxley has already beaten Jericho for the championship. You're talking about a championship wearing John Moxley versus Jeff Cobb. Now I can go, okay, he's a champion. He survives a whole
no matter who the champ is, you take him to a time limit.
Yeah,
that's still
I'm
good.
okay with that. But pre-championship, you're still he's undefeated, but I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Especially since Jeff Cobb just got introduced into the company. You can't stunt his momentum like that fast.
Yeah. Well, and then, of course, literally, Wrevolution is the 29th. Brody Lee becomes available a couple days beforehand.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy will be available the day after. The Revival will be available a month later.
Or, excuse you, the Shatter Machine.
Yes, the Shatter Machine. So you got a lot of stuff coming up, and it's making me think. Not to go old Goldberg on you, but who's next?
Yes. So let's wrap this up. What's our match of the night? What's your match of the night, my friend?
Nyla Rose Riho.
Yeah, Nyla Rose Riho. It's gotta be.
MVP is Nyla.
MVP is Nyla Rose.
Hey, Nyla, you're tied for second.
There you go.
Congrats.
Welcome to the club.
So, Nyla, great job. Proud of you. Glad to see we have a champion that I care about. So let's do that compare-contrast thingy. Which of the two shows?
So I've been very unfaithful to the NXT brand of late, mainly because AEW has just had better shows. Not it's been so much better, but just segments have just carried the show to where I just go, okay, I just got to give the nod to AEW. And tonight was another great night for both shows. I liked both shows, and again, I'm going to shoot straight with you. I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like. As I said, there were some points in AEW that I just, wasn't a huge fan of tonight. There was also, one segment in particular in NXT that I just went, why? So, but if I have to give a nod to one show, I am going to go back to Old Faithful, and that's going to be NXT tonight. So, NXT, you are my show of the night for this episode of the Wednesday Night Wars.
So close. You almost got me. Almost. You had your hooks in me. You were reeling me in. And then Nyla Rose shoved you off the dock. Look, when you feel something, you feel it. I jumped out of my seat.
Yeah. No,
nothing in NXT made me do that.
That is fair. That is the only thing that might have put AEW over the edge for me would have been the Nyla Rose spot.
And what made me really think about it was that Lio Rush match. Even though I was not paying as much attention and taking notes, I was watching the match, and it was fantastic. NXT put on a heck of a show, especially for a go-home show.
Especially since we thought it was just going to be
developmental
week. Yeah.
But they did a great job. But literally, like I said, you had me up until that Nyla Rose match. The second she won the championship, it was just literally, Dynamite could have just gone off the air and had the poop emoji on the screen for an hour, and I would have picked Dynamite at that point.
That's an image.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot to argue here. Like, normally we'd like to get into an argument on this, but
we haven't even done that in a minute.
I know, but like, there's not a lot to argue. Like, both shows were fantastic.
And this isn't like, again, the first night where it was just like, it was so like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was just like, oh my god, NXT came out like, they put like, they hired like some, I don't know who they got to book that show, because that was just like, in my opinion, that was like the best show of like of the year, and we're in 2020. It doesn't matter. Like, that show was just out the park, and even the AEW show, that was again like their best show. I thought of like, I mean, I don't know. It just felt like they both came out the gate swinging, and now it's just been like they both just been good.
Yeah, they except for the 1 week that they were both bad,
both horribly bad.
So I'll take both being good and us not agreeing because we literally have one match.
Yeah. NXT, one of these weeks, I'm going to need you to just come out the gate. Give me one of those, like, those NXTs like you did the very first night. We got to bring my guy over to the dark side here. We got to get him one of these weeks.
All you need is Nakamura, Sami Zayn.
There you go.
But you just have both of them floating around in the mid-card.
Doing nothing.
Main roster.
Well, that's what scares me about the Revival, is that they just threw them in that tag team too. And I mean, would they consider that doing something? I don't know. But if the check is large enough, do you think they'd consider staying?
Nope.
They did last time.
Oh no, I think they're done now.
I sure hope so.
I feel like they're at the same level that you are with things like, I don't know, dog food.
Yeah.
They see dog food and they're like, I'm done.
No,
I'm done. This is not the company for me.
It'd be different if they were like, you know what, I'm going to do one of my, like, if I was this person things. If I was the Revival, I'd say, okay, it wouldn't be about the money. It wouldn't be about the money at all. I'd be like, hey, I'll stay. You got to put me on Raw.
Yep.
You got to either put me on Raw or NXT, because SmackDown is
send me back.
SmackDown is, and I will keep saying it until you prove me wrong, the worst show in professional wrestling, bar none. Doesn't matter. I'd watch Wrestle Kingdom again before I watch episode of SmackDown. It's that bad.
I mean, one of their big tournaments is coming up pretty soon. We could review that instead of SmackDown.
Sign me up, because yikers on SmackDown. If I gotta see dog food one more week in a row.
Seriously though, 205 Live or SmackDown?
205 Live, man, because
that is bad.
Hey, there's no dog food on 205. I mean, there's the Lucha House Party, which is pretty cringe. No,
the Lucha House Party is the best thing in WWE right now. You can screw all the way off.
That's a big
love the Lucha House Party.
I don't love that at all. I don't love the, hey, we have all this luchador talent. Let's just tag team.
They're so great, though.
You only put them in a tag team because
wrestling.
you had nothing else to do with them.
That's because WWE has no idea how to
they are essentially, they are the whatever the hell the Sami Zayn stable is, except on 205 Live.
But funny.
And face.
And funny. And good.
You think they're funny?
Yes.
And
they're good in the ring, too.
The day they get a laugh out of me, man, I'll make sure I'm on camera for that. They have yet to do that.
Is hilarious.
But, while we are so off track, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. So, per usual, if you want to follow us on our socials, we got the links in the description down below. You can listen to this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, and I'm going to keep saying it week in and week out.
Hey, Google.
Apple.
What are you doing?
Wake up.
I am a loyal customer.
I am a loyal customer. Look at this phone. That's an iPhone.
Look at this phone. It's a Galaxy. I know it's a Samsung, but it's run by Google, okay? I didn't buy a Pixel because your phone sucked.
Please. Help some guys out. We're just trying to
I want to make money.
We're just trying to run a successful podcast here. Why are you hating on some brothers? So, yeah. You can also do the thing and subscribe. In fact, you should do that.
All right. So, fun fact, our Facebook page has reached nearly 70 followers.
Wow.
We have 19 subscribers.
Yeah, where's the translation there, guys?
I get it, like friends and family, like, oh, that's so sweet. They're doing a thing. Like, just subscribe. Just throw me a bone. You don't have to watch a single video.
And it costs nothing. It's free.
I'm not even telling you to ring the bell.
Oh, no, I am. You hit that bell. You hit that bell.
But, like...
It's free. It don't cost you nothing. It takes
there are
2 seconds.
50 of you
50
that are missing out on our nearly 3-time-a-week content.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching our videos and you are not subscribed, then what are you doing? I mean, come on.
I mean,
this is a global expanding process. This is a revolution, and by not subscribing, you are basically saying that you're not a part of the revolution.
This is the hottest, fastest rising pro wrestling podcast in the history of the world. We are the best in the world at what we do.
Nobody better. Doesn't matter. I'm calling you out, Steven Larson, JD from New York. Doesn't matter. We're the best.
Sorry, I had to check to make sure I didn't just mute my microphone during my promo.
This is a big barrel of professionalism up here, aren't we?
Dude, we do a beautiful, beautiful job in this very professional studio in your basement.
Studio 6.
In your basement.
Yep.
Look, we're not a professional outfit, but you know what?
We're two guys that love professional wrestling, and we love talking about it.
And we're better than you. And you know it.
So, with that being said, as always, live from Studio 6.
My name's Nick Cavalli.
My name is Marcus White.
And we invite you to join the revolution.
Have a great night, guys.
Something like that.